talking about nickel and how incredibly hot nickel is in the market right now, and especially in critical minerals. Give us an update.
Yeah, you know what? I think that, as the world moves towards EVs, I was reading yesterday they're up like 45% year over year. I mean, that's just crazy, insane growth. And of course, that's impacting all the critical minerals that go into these EV batteries. So there's two major drivers to the nickel industry: urbanization and electrification. So urbanization is people moving from villages into cities and towns, and they're buying pots and pans, fridges and stoves. That's stainless steel. 6% compound annual growth rate. That's 70% of the nickel market. So that's pretty mammoth. And then obviously electrification is the next one. So electrification is about 10% of the nickel market today, expected to be up to 50% within by 2030. I don't know how that can possibly get there, given it's not that easy to find the stuff, but growth is certainly pretty advancing and super strong at the moment.
So, usually I would ask you about your drilling results, which, based on our coverage, seem to be outstanding. But let's talk about location, because in critical minerals right now, many people out there may not appreciate the benefit and the advantage you have of being based in Quebec.
Yeah, Quebec is unbelievable. It's basically 2-for-1 exploration and now half price mine building. So, I mean, that sounds cheeky to say that, but let's dig a little deeper. So what do I mean by 2-for-1 exploration? Well, we just did a fundraising. Stock was around 28 cents when we announced it. We raised the money at 50 cents with a half warrant at 50. So how was that possible? Well, what the tax incentives in Quebec provide significant tax credits and tax deductions to the Quebec-based investors. So they bought for 50 cents and they sold the next second to our end-use investors for 25 cents. So what was the net benefit for them? Well, they ended up basically reducing their taxes from 54% to 42%. So they're a win and they're out. And our investors put in 25 cents and had the company get 50. So they put $1 in and $2 go to work. So that's obviously fantastic from an investment perspective. So that is all for exploration. So that gives us basically a 2-for-1 exploration. That's what I say, Quebec allows. So that's just on exploration. And then in the last budget, both in Quebec and federally, about 30 days ago, they announced tax credits to build and equip mines, 30% from the federal budget, from the federal government of Canada, and up to 25% for Quebec. So all of a sudden, if we were to spend $400 million on a nickel mine to build advanced stage battery metal products like powders, nickel wire, anodes, and it costs $400 million, up to $200 million or more of that could come from our government, as a direct sort of tax credit, which turns into cash. So these are, spectacular numbers not seen anywhere else in the world. So if you're blessed enough to be in Quebec, it's something you can take advantage of, and it's something investors have. I think because of the regional banking crisis, they never really captured that thought, and they've missed it. And there's no joke, nickels on the carpet that they can be picking up right now, including power nickel.
So we have nickel. We have the spectacular numbers being offered and extended by the Quebec government for incentive for both investors and companies in general. And then drilling, several drilling results in the last month and a half. I don't even know where to begin. How about the most recent NISC project drilling results? If you can just go over the highlights.
Yeah. So we stepped out a full 5 kilometers from our existing deposit that we've been drilling most of the winter, and we drilled a wildcat target at the end of this ultramafic sequence that we're working on, and we hit almost 8 meters of 1 ounce PGM, so platinum and palladium and gold. So spectacular bonanza, style results, including 1.75 meters of almost 4 ounce material. I mean, this is like, when we got the results, we couldn't believe it. We had to check them in twice, and it was really something to sort of see. So that's exciting in a number of different ways. One, obviously, that it happened 5 kilometers away from our existing core deposit is highly indicative of the potential in between there, and that this is obviously a lot of ground. This could be a very big discovery. When you get numbers like that, it harkens back to initial discovery days for Norilsk and Voisey's Bay. So those are like legendary discoveries in the nickel and mining world. And I mean, I'm not saying we're going to be those guys, but that's what it makes you think of, and it's certainly possible. So we sort of see us as having proved that we're going to be commercial right now, yet we had massive upside beyond that, and we're trading for 1/5 to 1/20th of our peers, and they're all down by 50%. So this is a screaming buy if you believe in any future for nickel.
So, in addition to the discovery of the Wildcat area, what should we anticipate as shareholders in the next quarter or two?
More of the same, really. We're basically got more drilling results coming next week and in about 4 weeks from that, and then we'll be deploying. We've done a lot of work on the exploration setups for the next round. So we've just done an airborne EM, which EM is an effective tool for discovering massive sulfides, because it's basically EMs pick up magnetic signatures. So if you get a magnetic signature, that's very positive for us. So we've done that, and it looks like we've got a number of those to follow up on. And then we'll be deploying our ambient noise tomography, which is quite new technology and we think spectacular, to help us find the nickel quicker. So that will be launched in June, and we'll start drilling again in mid-July, and we're fully funded. So it's going to be an action-packed next few months for Power Nickel.
For those of you interested in more information on Power Nickel, please go to their website. And Terry, as always, it's a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy. Cheers.